right back, people. All right, people, I'm coming. I'm right here, man. Just give me a second. I'm rolling a joint. Sorry I'm late, yo. Give me a minute, all right? Yeah, I started late. I see, Sin, you were the first guy, man, but you deleted your message. Yeah, I'll explain everything. Just give me a minute, all right? Let me roll a joint here. Man, it looked like I should always come on late, man. A lot of you guys. How many people in the chat? Yeah, sorry I'm late, people. I was hanging out with D3, Sammy. He's got to go to the hospital tomorrow and get a surgery done. So, yeah, I got to pick him up from the hospital. So we're talking about a couple things, checking a few things out. I'll get more into details. You know, we got some stuff cracking up in the pens. You guys will be pretty excited to know about in the future. All right, let me get through some of these questions before we get started here. Yeah, Sin, you were the first guy, but you retracted your message. Then we got Clue Flu 1, RD, and Clue Flu, peace. And then Patrick Guitar, what's up? Sec 1, set it off. Anthony Tabor, yo, what up, Tabe? TFT. All right, set it off. All right, Sin, you on late? Yeah, I'm on late. Yeah, D3 came by. We got something we're planning on doing. So we had to investigate a little bit. Well, he got to go to the hospital more. Once you go to the hospital, you're going to go to Maryland. Then when he comes back from Maryland, then we're going to do some shit. Boom. Baltimore, Maryland. So, yeah, you're on late. Patrick Guitar on set. The Real Deal. Hells yeah. What up? Neil O'Shea. NZ Basehead. What up, RD? Patrick Guitar rolling. Patrick Guitar rolling. Anthony Tabor 357. All right. All right. NZ Basehead. Seen the video of you with that RD on the truck, chrome filling. Oh, you saw the video or you actually saw the truck? Yeah, you saw the video of the truck. Chrome filling. Outline looks sick. All right. Yeah, that truck. I did a couple months ago, believe it or not. I just don't post stuff on. I put it on my Patreon. I have me actually doing that truck on Patreon. But, yeah, it's interesting. A few people owe this, that, and trying to compare it to people that do legal trucks. And that's not a legal truck. Go on my Patreon. You can see me doing it. I'm doing that shit right in the fucking on the avenue. You got fucking cars flying by. You got fucking electric bikes zooming by in the bike lane and shit. Yeah, I did that shit right out there. Boom. Came out pretty fucking tight, right? I mean, I'm not sitting there in the broad daylight with a pizza eating this shit with permission to do it on a truck. So you're always going to have those little imperfections, which I think make it more graffiti-ish. I hate when everything is so perfect and so like mural-ish. I never was into that. I'll fuck shit up on purpose. Yeah. But yeah, that's weird. A lot of people, oh, yo, Wayne does them like this. Wayne does that. Wayne this. I'm like, yeah, but Wayne does them legally. Like the guy probably actually pays Wayne to do the trucks. You know, like Wayne does that shit legally. So he could sit there all day. He could take ladders and all these milk crates full of paint and stuff. So yeah, of course, it's going to be a better product. I mean, I'm out there looking for cops. I'm looking for fucking people who are trying to play hero, trying not to get ran over by electric bikes and scooters and shit like that. And I got to watch all the cars. There's a side street right there. Cop come down there, boom, you're done. So, you know, it's a lot going on in your head. Not to mention, I'm not the best at painting shit. When it comes to graffiti, I'm really not. Never said I was. I could be a good artist. I could paint nice stuff like this Wolverine right there behind me, but I'm not good at like doing graffiti letters. I never did burner on the subway a day in my life. Lace has done a burner RD with Ghost on the J's and M's. After I had met Ghost and he didn't want to fight me, they went and they did that RD Ghost, I guess, in a way to kind of calm me down a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. But that's the only RD piece burner that was ever done on a subway. And that was on the Franklin Avenue shuttle. I didn't do that. It's actually in the Destiny Crew book, the RD. Yeah, that one's in that's a story with me when they shot me with a flare gun. And they show that piece, but I didn't do that piece. All right, so where we at? What's happening, Captain? Yeah, that's from Care East Side. Mr. Chop Top. What up, RD? Chillin'. Sin, think I'm hit a train and a barrier you can see from the freeway. Gotta hit these spots before it get colder. Yeah, but when it's colder, it's harder for them to paint it. Like they really do let shit sit till the spring when it comes to painting. Especially if you talk about highways and stuff. But nowadays, it's like they don't give a fuck. They don't got no money. No one's got money. People keep saying the Vandal Squad, the Vandal Squad. That shit is such a has-been, man. There is no Vandal Squad. There is no Vandal Squad. You people got to stop that shit. You see what I'm out there, right? I'm rocking and rolling. There is no such thing as the Vandal Squad. Right now, they do not exist, especially after this whole defunding. Hell, we could barely feed these damn migrants we got. We got no money. The whole city's fucked up. You got people running out of Target with huge fucking TV sets. You think they give a fuck about graffiti? Yo, you people are bugging, man, bugging. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're out there writing some hate speech, you're doing like a SWAT sticker or some stupid shit like that, then yeah, they're going to come and get your ass. But that's not going to be no Vandal Squad. That's going to be like a hate crimes unit that's going to come after you. You know, it's not the Vandal Squad. They don't exist. They don't. They're done. They've been shut down. They've been defunct. Take it from me. I'm not lying to you. And if a regular cop sees you, he kind of has to react. But most of the time, he wished he didn't see you. He literally, like, if they could keep going in their car, they will. That's the truth. Say what you want. It's easy peasy out there. I'm not big upping it or saying everyone should run around writing graffiti. I'm just saying it's a walk in the fucking park out there. All these people are paper champions. All these people that are up now are paper champions. They ain't out there like it was during the Giuliani era. You see, during the Giuliani era, no one was out there. Just me and just. Yeah. As far as it goes with Manhattan, Scuff, he faded out too at that point. Yeah, around Giuliani era, the late 90s. Yeah, there was nothing. There was really, like, when I was really going at it with Just, DWC, when I came back out hard after my marriage, yeah, there was no one out. No one. Not for like a good 2-3 years. And then people said, oh, shit, they started coming back out and tearing shit up. But yeah, for a while, it was a ghost town. You had people like Haler and Colt that came out. I don't even think they're from New York. DMS guys. Haas, Haas is another guy. I think he's RFC. He was doing a little something at that point. Other than that, no one really. But yeah, I was getting a kick out of that. A few people were like trying to diss my truck. I'm like, yeah, but where's your truck? They're like, what do you write? You know, are you out there in the heart of fucking Manhattan in a busy fucking street on an avenue doing a fucking truck? I don't think so. So yeah, but you know, you always got people on here. They what do they call it? Monday morning quarterbacks and serious gangsters behind the keyboard. Yeah, you deal with that shit. All right. What do we got here? Guys, beef. Much love from Sunset Park. Slim Jim EV. NY Dave 345. All right. Upper East Side representing. I love tough to bomb. Yeah, 90s is hard, man. I know people in the 90s. I don't want to blow up that spot that actually got caught writing graffiti and went to Rikers Island for 6 fucking months. 6 months. They went to Rikers Island. One of them was writing on a mailbox with like a silver marker. I'm dead fucking serious. I don't know how many times they got caught before that, but they literally went to Rikers Island for 6 fucking months for writing with a silver marker on a mailbox during the Giuliani administration. Now you don't got none of that. To me, it's like allowed, like it's legal. I mean, you know, think about my life throughout the graffiti history. I know when it's easy and when it's hard. Right now, it hasn't been easier. Other than actually in the heart of the pandemic, it was easier. No, they were charging people with felonies back then. And then felonies didn't get dropped down to misdemeanors when you go to court. Nowadays, you know, even if felonies this down, I mean, look at me in 2017 when they arrested me. It was originally like 187 cases. And then it got knocked down to 100 and something else. And then the next court date, it was 90 something, 98 cases or some shit like that. Yeah, a bunch of those were felonies. Like the club Vandal downtown over there where CBGB's or something like that used to be. I used to write on that window like every Sunday, like every Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then big brick, like fucking see-through windows, like one-way mirror windows. I catch that shit with the fat and new fucking silvers, right like that, man. Fucking pounds. Every fucking weekend I'd tear that shit. They call it vandal. What am I supposed to do? And I'm not a fucking people too that went to court like and tried to really fuck me. I'm like, yo, these people, they name their bar and restaurant Vandal. They should pay me. They should be paying me. They shouldn't be trying to throw me in prison, man. Vandal. They're gonna name it Vandal. They didn't even write it like it's in graffiti. And God forbid a real vandal comes up on the motherfucking place. You try and lock them up. What kind of shit is that, right? Yeah. I'm not gonna be on here long, people. Trains died in the 80s, not the 90s. Dan S. Trains died in the 80s, man. 80s. By 88, 89, there was no more trains. By the 90s, you had a couple people, including us, I guess, but it wasn't running, so it's dead. You had a few people out there. Ven, Ghost, and them. Cat, shit like that. Me, Lace, a few other people. Yeah, a lot of people are doing shit. You just don't know about it. I should post some of that shit. We used to do whole cars almost every day, every fucking year, at least once or twice. But we would do people that died that we knew, like Ross, shit like that, JJ, top to bottoms. Yeah, we go in there in the winter or something, you know, have a little something fun to do. That's after the trains got cleaned. We went through them trains. I'll tell you, me and Lace down under Central Park. And hell, even the double R's on the Broadway, I remember. First thing we did, we thought about the boxes on the clean trains. You know, the boxes on the engines, the guts where the wheels are. Figure we do tags on those. People will see it from the other side of the platform. Like if the train pulls in on the uptown side, the people on the downtown side platform will see it. And we figured the people that go in and pull the train out, they won't see it because they're just walking through. They're going to hop in the train, drive the fucking thing out, go all the way, Coney Island, Ditmars, back and forth. Figured the shit would run, but no, they buffed it. Then we got the crazy, well, this was Lace's idea, supermarket ink on the floor, but under the seats, because there was no more barrier where the heat would come up. It was just plastic seats, like benches. So if you write under there, there's not as much foot traffic and it's harder to mop. So we would think just catch your tags on the floor with Garvey supermarket ink. Never saw it again. They did something. They got rid of it. Somewhere or another, they got rid of it. Never saw it again. So that went that idea. But in between, we would always do big top to bottoms and shit like that. We were always trying to figure out a way to ride on them fucking trains after they got clean. Many, many years. I even remember Mikey Axe. The guy does them A bubble letters. We were jumping around the Dewey yard. That wasn't even too long ago. 2016? 2015? Nah. Maybe 2014, 2013. Yeah, it was a while. 10 years ago. And we were in the Dewey yard. I did that big RD blockbuster. The biggest blockbuster in the largest yard in the 5 boroughs. And I did it right there, pulling out from the D. And he was running around with this fucking metal acid shit, writing on the things. The Vandal Squad's in that yard, too. They actually have a Vandal Squad headquarters in that yard. And that's the Dewey, the small yard. Yeah. But yeah, he was running around. We were trying to like shit that burns in the metal and etch the shit for glass and all types of crazy shit, man. I'll tell you, we tried it all. You know, what's up, RD? This is from KL. Well, what up, RD? How you been, man? I'm all right. Can't complain. The New York Dave 35, Wagner had all these guys pushing 357. Wagner Houses or Wagner Junior High School, PS 167? I melted nostrils, born without nostrils. RD, I heard you met my bro, CE UK crew. Yeah, I know Crazy. Yeah, yesterday I was hanging out with him. Right, yeah. Yeah, I met him yesterday. I mean, I know him. Came by before with Dover and stuff. All right, what else do we got here? Dennis, Giuliani era, the highways got buffed. Everything. Python, Carcass, Woody 23. I don't understand you guys fucking screen names, man. You always try and keep it simple and small. Think like a graffiti tag. Yo, RD, what are your favorite things to do besides graffiti and painting on canvases? You gotta go on my Patreon. I can't even begin to get into all that shit. I'm sure you guys know I'm into frogs and stuff like that. I have a lot of different hobbies. Jogging, running, I like to do. Powerlifting. I haven't done that. Obviously, I'm skinny. You could tell. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So middle school Wagner, PS 167. What time? I don't know. 357 wasn't even around. When I was in Robert Dyer, when I went to Wagner, 357 wasn't even invented yet. That's before 357 was even created. So maybe afterwards, maybe the 90s or something like that. I don't know. But I don't see during my period of time, there was no such thing as 357. That's when ESP was running around, East Side Party, ESA also, East Side Artists, and then it later turned into ESP, East Side Party. That's like Lace, Nada, Shaker, 16, which also wrote Sterling. He had a few tags. JD also wrote. Then you had Slocco, Fallon, Hoy, Radar, which was Frank Mallon, Pugsley, Bubbles, a lot of them dudes. EL3, Luck TNS was also an ESP. I think Sniper. A bunch of those dudes, man. But a lot of that's even before my time, you know. Fatal Frank, Fate, late 80s. Why did we see more tags on the buses? I don't know. You're looking at buses? I don't know. It depends on what area you're talking about. Buses were very popular when I was starting out. They went down quick. The old metal buses, the Grummins, no good. The Kawasaki ones, shit like that, garbage. They even made the Kawasaki trains. Oh, why didn't we see more tags? The buses, they cleaned them up real early. Once they came up with them new fiberglass bodied, like framed, yeah, that was a wrap. I still caught a lot of buses. I caught a lot of buses. Once again, trying to figure out where you can write on them buses where they won't buff it. I've tried everything. I even wrote on the wheels of them fucking things. The back where people would hold on with the gruffly shit, they buff it. Just everything, they buff it. The buses were easy to crank down on. It's easy to buff them. All right, Peace RD. I remember your big piece on the top of Red Hook Warehouse along with Baron. Rest in peace. Yeah, I think it's still there, but someone got rid of my D, or they left the D and they changed my R into a H. This guy Hydro or some shit like that from out there. I think Base, G-O-D, told him to do it. Right, Peace RD. I remember you're a big piece on the wall. Annie and Tony's Tiniest Pizza. Do you consider Dory NC a local writer, or was up in your opinion? I don't know if that's the Dory. Is that the Dory from Queens with Ghost in them? I've actually done graffiti with him. I believe he's an Asian dude. He died or something, I think. Dory, D-O-R-I. I've done graffiti with him. I have pictures of me. I did an RD blockbuster and he did his Dory, like straight letter stuff. His was light blue and beige with a black outline. Mine was silver and black with fluorescent orange in the background. But he wasn't up much. It wasn't. I think if it's the same guy, I think he passed away. You probably have to ask some guys in Queens, and they'd know more about it. Either he passed away or he went to jail or some shit. I don't remember. What you gonna be for Halloween? Nothing. All right. Summer House, Sully, buses are underrated. Buses kind of suck. I remember even running up to them fucking things with pieces of sandpaper on the windows. What the fuck? Buses are buses, right? I remember when the buses had a lot of graffiti on them. My brother used to write Sean on the buses in 80, 81, 82. And Lace was writing Wordster. Wordster, W-O-R-D-S-T-E-R. Wordster in white. Wordster and Sean. That was my brother and Lace who were doing that. And Shaker was doing that with them at that point. Shaker. I was writing, but I don't remember. I think I was doing 2 Rob on them at that point in my life. 2 Rob or Redo. One of them tags. That's before I was RD. I think people like Clyde really took it to another level on them buses. Clyde and FDT 56, all them 56 guys, they must have been living next to a depot or something because them motherfuckers, all them shits on Smash. You know who else who had a lot of buses? On the insides of the buses with a fucking flooded mop? Swan 3, TVS. Had a lot of insides. Des, Pate, and Sash. From Uptown too, Sash, Gary Sash, 357. He had a lot of inside buses with Pate and Des. I've seen Flame, with Fuzz. He had a lot of buses. Flame, Flame, PTC or PIC. PTC is a crew from around here, a bunch of yuppies. PIC, Partners in Crime. Flame. He used to have a lot of insides of the buses, insides of them. I distinctively remember like red fucking like Flowmaster ink tags, flame. Who else had buses I could think of? A couple of TFA guys were getting buses too. They catch tags on the outsides of them. I think Trap TFA had some buses. A couple of those guys. Yeah, but I would have to say Clyde, CLYD, FDT 56, K56, Moose, Dell. They had a lot of fucking buses. I remember seeing Dell. Dell was here on buses. That's early on. That's like like 11, 12 years old or something, 10 years old. Yeah, probably like 78, 1978, something like that, 77, 78. All right, what do we got here? Where were we? All this shit about buses this, buses that. Pathologist comes in. How hot is it to bomb in New York right now? I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco area. I just went into a whole big fucking rant. You just go on here and you go back to the beginning of this fucking thing and you click it and you can hear every fucking thing I just said. It's as easy as it is here as it is in San Francisco right now, because I see what's going on in San Francisco with all them junkies laying all over the place. I bet you can write whatever the fuck you want. Probably the same deal as it is here. Like I said, just go back a couple of inches further back on the same live I just got done talking about. You must have just clicked on here, dude. I can't go through all that again. Which warehouse piece? The Punisher wall, the grain mill, or out in Queens, Sunnyside, there was a warehouse I did. It depends on what warehouse you're talking about. Do I recall a writer from Sunset Park who used to write Frey? No, I'm very bad with Brooklyn. I'll always say that. I don't know shit about Brooklyn. I didn't like how Brooklyn moved, man. Like I had I don't know. They're always telling like where people. Even with me with Feck TFV, a perfect fucking example. He's Brooklyn. It's like, yeah, man. They just tell on their friends, man. I'm sorry, man. Come at me, Brooklyn. Come at me hard if you want. I'm just being real. You guys set each other up like fucking sickness, bro. Yeah, you spread that shit like the flu. That is crazy, man. Yeah, that's why I never got caught. I stay the fuck away from people from Brooklyn. Yeah. I mean, that's, if I'm being truthful. Plus, I didn't hang out in Brooklyn. I didn't sell anything I stole from Brooklyn. I never really stole anything from Brooklyn. Had no use for Brooklyn at all. All right, the guy. Trake and Deal were up a lot. Trake, definitely. Trake was up a lot. Deal, I don't know who you're talking about. I know about 6 different deals throughout my life. Yeah, dealing NSA, just so many deals. It was even a deal OTB. So many different deals, man. I don't know which deal you mean, man. But as far as it goes with being up, I guess being you mentioned Trake, you're talking about the streets. And no, I don't remember any deal really getting up that much to the point where I could say they were up a lot. No, deal doesn't ring a bell. All right, what else do we got here? But Trake, definitely. Trake was up a lot, man. Trake, he's up. Like, he's one of my favorite newer writers. Like, after the trade era writers. I tell you, man, I got a good one. Well, I've told it before, being Dover just passed away recently. But, yeah, one day Trake is hanging out in my house. Not in this room I'm in now, but the room my son's in. And it's facing the street. And I'm on the ground floor, right? So I'm hanging out in my apartment with Dover. And, yeah, I'm with Dover. Yeah, Dover's in my apartment, and Trake comes by at my window. He's like, "Yo, Rob, what's up, man? This, that, man, not much, man. This, right?" So he looks at Dover, right, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Right? So he's like, "Yo, you don't remember me?" That's what he tells Dover, and Dover's like, "No, I don't remember you." He's like, "Yo, you fucking stabbed me, bro." Dover's like, "I still don't remember you." Like Dover stabbed so many people. He's like, That don't help a little more. He's like, MQ, Trake. I write Trake, man. He's like, oh, shit. Dover's like, oh, shit. So I was like, yo, come in, Trake. I was like, yo, don't be fucking around in my house. Be coming in here stabbing each other and shit like that in my crib. But that was funny. That shit was like some fucking Clint Eastwood shit. It was like, Or no, Trake might have been in my house and Dover came to my window. I forget one way or the other. But yeah, ask Trake. He's out there. Dover, obviously, you can't ask him. He just passed away. But yeah, that shit was like some Clint Eastwood shit. Like when you hang a man, you remember that? Hang him high with Clint Eastwood. You better remember, man, when you hang him. And he has the big thing around. Trake was like that. He's like, yo, you fucking stabbed me, bro. I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, don't be fucking around in my house, man. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh man, that was funny, man. I was like, so, you know, like some Clint Eastwood shit, man. That was a classic. I remember that one till the day I died, man. That was a good one, man. Dover looked at him like, where, when, who? Like, you gotta be a little more specific. Oh shit! He's like, with MQ to say, oh shit, yeah, I remember. I ain't hurt you, man. It's like, yo, you fucking stabbed me. I ain't hurt you. Yeah, that shit was classic. But yeah, they hung out here and everything. Trake's a good dude, man. Yo, you stabbed me, man. Shit. What up, Monty? There it is. I actually yeah. Trake was up, man. He was up in the Bronx. I would see him up when I go pick up my wife when dating her. Be up all through Queens, all through Manhattan. I don't know. Once again, I don't know about Brooklyn, but yo, he'd be up all under the 4 line, the 2s to 5s to 6. Trake was up. Man. Trake was fucking up. He was up a lot in Manhattan too, man. Yeah, Trake was up. Monty NI 357. I remember him. Yeah, the garbage trucks. I used to get them in a lot of different places. I go up to 100th Street, First Ave, get the garbage trucks. I'd go out around you guys' way, Monty. I'd go out there, 21st Street near Queensbridge houses, right? No, Ravenwoods, near Ravenswoods projects. And you had the, Queensbridge is down towards the bridge, Ravenwoods. And then you have like Astoria houses. But yeah, Ravenwood houses right across the street. You had the garbage truck lot. And then in Ravenwood, you had the housing police precinct, like diagonally across the street. I remember standing on a garbage can doing the top to bottom. I could look right across the street at the fucking precinct, man. I ain't give a fuck. They ain't catching me. But yo, PK and Ripe, they really tore that shit up. Sear and Bice also later on, the one out in Queens. But I would also hit him in Hell's Kitchen over there off of 12th Avenue, off the river. They used to have them there. I remember they caught Sammy, a bunch of garbage truck guys. They grabbed Sammy. It was me, Barron, Irish, D3, and they caught D3 somehow. So me, Barron, Irish, we went back. We grabbed like some metal shit we found, and we went back. Yo, give us our friend back, man. We want our friend back. And they gave him back to us. Yeah. Where else did I hit garbage trucks? Veefer showed me a spot down under like the Williamsburg Bridge or something like that, which was pretty good. LA Rock used to have a lot of them. Baya 3 up in Harlem had a lot. All them dudes, all TWB guys. Yeah, they all had that shit good. All them dudes. TWB, Spoon. You had so many dudes. I'm trying to think now. You had Spoonie. You had Hard. You had Shop. Yeah, Baya 3. These are all different crews. You even had Side RA, which was NATO RA later. You know, Side started RA and then kind of faded out. And RA was like NATO and Bruise and them for a while out in Queens. Really like a Harlem crew originally, RA. I'm down with that. A long time. I don't know what it stands for. I honestly don't even know what it stands for. Spawn, of course, had a lot of garbage trucks. All right, so you had Har, Dar, Baya 3, CERN, SM, Dobie, KOF crew, and even Sen 4, LA Rockin' them. Their trucks would even wind up in Harlem. D3, my boy D3 had a lot of trucks. I didn't even hit them trucks doing huge fill-ins. I forget what it was. Oh, it's when I was going to fight TK. And he refused to fight me. I went with Suds, and I brought him up. He wanted dust. we got dust, and we went into the garbage truck lot and smoked some dust, and we were writing on the garbage. We were doing big fillings with colors, and we had a bunch of paint that we were going to use for trains and shit. Suds, Rudy is his name. TMR, RIS. Yeah, he's from Queens. I remember I went with him, and so his shit stayed at Forum, also Chinese Forum, QV, Queens Vandals. I hit a lot of garbage trucks with him in Harlem too, and in Queens. PK had a lot of trucks, but I don't remember writing on garbage trucks with PK. But he was probably the king of garbage trucks when it comes to Queens, PK. He would do the whole top to bottom, the whole sides of them with the big PK bubble eyes. Sear and Bice had them pretty good too. Bobby Bullshit? No. What was it? Spick. Spick had a lot, but he would go with Ripe and them. I think KK even had a couple of them. KK with the little Blockbuster style letters. I'm trying to think of Harlem. There's so many people in Harlem that were writing on them things. Razo also. Yeah. Coker, which was kind of like an offspring from Shaker, Koker. Yeah, a lot of garbage trucks. Yeah, a lot of people. Adobe, SM, and CERN, they had them good too, KOF. I always liked them SM, like straight letter styles. Yeah, TWB. The Wild Bunch, the Washington Boys, TWB, the Washington Projects. That's why they wrote TWB. Some of the dudes pretty wild. Rare is another one that had a lot of garbage trucks. Rare, ETC, Prince, ETC, EA, Escape Artist, EA, which is Prince. That's his crew. I'm trying to think earlier about Pre-Suite for some reason, but I don't think they had them. Not a lot. I might have seen them once or twice, maybe Flash and Pre-Suite. TR on them. The Rascals. Joves also. All those guys too had a lot. Yeah, I forgot all about that. And then you had 131 that had a lot of trucks, but you had Joves, Spook, Acer, Aver, all those guys would catch trucks. Hey, they lived right there too. So Dover had a lot of trucks. I'd even seen Paul on trucks. Paulism. But not up in Harlem. I saw them in the Lower East Side. I haven't even seen EL3 up on trucks, garbage trucks. EL3 TNS. I like the garbage trucks. I started out on garbage trucks. I was writing on garbage trucks before I was writing on trains. It's getting late, people. Come on, ask me some questions, man. Did I ever eat sushi? Yes. Yeah. What happened to the alligator? I went into that so many times, man. I gave it a social tease. Like an animal rescue guy, makes T-shirts in spring. It's probably still down there. And he rescues reptiles. Like if a drug dealer gets caught with a big reticulated python or Burmese python or alligator or something, they call him and he would come and get him. I think he used to work with animal control and then went his own way. He was a friend of mine. And I gave the alligator to him. And also Baron's brother, Timmy Sheehan. Baron. Yeah, Timmy was Baron and Larry was the brother. Larry wrote Hart, Timmy wrote Baron. And they, the brother, Larry, was moving. He gave me a big water monitor, Asian water monitor, a big lizard. I gave it to them too, and that thing just died like a year before the pandemic or something. That shit was like 1994. That thing lived for like almost 30 years. Got pretty big too. I had a big room. They gave it New Jersey winded up. No, Pennsylvania. It winded up like a basement in Pennsylvania for like 30 years. They made like a whole terrarium for. But those are big fucking lizards, man. I'm thinking 8, 9 feet. It's like a Komodo dragon. It's the next closest thing to a Komodo dragon. I guess a croc monitor would technically, but you know what I mean. A big fucking lizard will tear your ass up. All right, Mr. E. JRC had Queens garbage trucks on Smash. I didn't see that. I never even heard of JRC. I'll have to ask my people in Queens about that. Sean, I've been to Peter Luger's lately. I too want to dine at Peter Luger's. Do you like spiders? Tarantulas are all right. Spiders too short-lived. Spider lived like a fucking mosquito or something. It's like having a praying mantis, a year and a half, 2 years. Tarantulas could live, depending on the sex of them. Tarantulas, yeah, I had cobalt blue from Vietnam. I've had the early on in my life. Well, that one, cobalt blue, I actually had in like 2007 when I was living up in the Bronx. Blue, like a real blue, very beautiful. Well, like 13, 14, I had a couple of Mexican red knees. Kind of bird spider ones got huge, but technically it's like a tarantula. All right, how many miles do you cover? All right, how many miles do you cover when you go out riding per night? All right, I'll tell you how I did it. I wouldn't necessarily go by miles. I would ride on my bicycle maybe 2-3 miles from my house and just dump out a bunch of paint and like not really trying to spread it out. I looked at it like when I had paint, I look and just dump it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do a tag here and then go 5 blocks and do another tag. No, I'm going to, I'm out of paint. Let me go home. That's the way I did it. You do it like that enough, you get up everywhere, every little nook and cranny. That's the way I always did it. Yeah. Except for fire hydrants. Fire hydrants was different. Fire hydrants, you could actually say by miles. You figure you got 2 on each block, 2 on each avenue. So I would normally try and do a mile. So it would be about 40 fire hydrants in a night. And plus, you would have to get a mile away from my neighborhood because I would already have them all around here. So to actually get to a hydrant that I could actually write on, I would have to travel a couple. As I would get more and more, I'd have to travel further and further away. So traveling to the destination to write, it could take a miles. But I don't do one tag here and then do another for miles. I was explaining recently about how my hand would get tired writing on the insides of subways so much and how I went in with the lace in like, I don't know, maybe 2010, 2011. And we did from 125th Street all the way down to 59th Street. I figure 59 to 69 to 79, 1 mile, 79, 89, 99, 2 miles, 99, 109th, 119th, 3 miles. So like 3 miles and a half. I did RD lace. Literally, my RD would go, and then the lace would start right after my RD. After his E, my RD would start just back to back, RD lace, RD lace, RD lace. We wouldn't do an RD and a lace and then walk 100 feet like all these other people that were doing tunnels. We did not do that. You could see it still to today. You look out that window, RD lace, 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 RD lace. Blah, blah, blah. I see how other people do it. And people say, oh, this, that. JA, for instance, he would only write under the lights. He would do them bubble letters only under where the lights are. You know, we didn't do that. We did it the whole stretch, every inch like across. And we did that shit for a long fucking from 125th to 59th Street. Straight through. One night, one side, the downtown side. Regular tunnels, we would do them, you know, just local, like 68 to 59, 68, 77 to 86, 86 to 96. All those an hour and a half or something. That ain't nothing. And we do it still. RD Lace. N&R's also coming from 49th Street, coming east. Yeah, the same deal. All down 120, the 20s, 28, 23rd, 14th. Prince Spring, we did big blockbusters. They're gone now. They got rid of the whole wall. Yeah, no. So miles, it's weird, but I would say 3.5 miles. RD. You know, like RD Lace. Just tag after tag after tag after tag. And I swear, we did. The only time we weren't doing next to each other when the trains come, we had to go hide. And then when the train stopped, we come out right where we left off. Boom. If I did an RD, he would do his lace, and I do an RD, he do a lace. I do an RD, he do a lace. Just walk right on the catwalk, boom, 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 all the way through. Ain't no one do no shit like that. Y'all could talk all that shit you want, man. All right, M. Baxter, yeah, true. M. Baxter, that's sick. Dan S. Gallagher Steakhouse, I never heard of it. M. Baxter, that new truck was very nice. G, yeah, but I don't know. It's a couple of months old already. I just dropped it now. I mean, I hold on to the footage when I do something, you know, see what's going on, you know. Danker, oh shit, haven't tapped in with the live in a while. What up, RD? Not much, chilling, man. All right, that's from Danker and M. Baxter. I would go from 12 a.m. and come back. Yeah, that's what we would do too with the when we did that tunnel from 125th to 59th Street. Popped out the hatch. I think it was like 4:35 in the morning. When we popped out, it was like 6:30, almost 7. It was like the birds were chirping. It was like blue out, you know. It's like a Korean deli. There's a guy sitting on a bucket making sure people ain't stealing his fruit and his flowers and shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much how we did it all the time. The subways, I like to get there a little later. Normally the toys would go in like sometimes even 10, 11, 12. We would go in about 2:30. I would like to wait until they're almost ready to pull them out to go. And that's not good because they go through, they smell the ink on the insides and they can possibly smear it and get like, oh shit, someone hit this place. But that's what I'd like to go. Because if the Vandal Squad, and back then you had the Pelham Bay Graffiti Squad, there was no Vandal Squad at that point in life. The 6 train did have one, the Pelham Bay Graffiti Squad. And they like to fuck around till about 12, 1. They might hang out, spy on the place a little bit. So I like to get in there about 3. They start pulling them out about 6. I could catch about 40, 50 cars in that period of time, 60 cars. What's up? No, it's all right. What's up? All right. Yeah, so yeah, we'd ride straight through the whole night until the sun comes up. That's one. Sure, adapters on Rustos for fatties don't hit like a 9.4. Isn't the pressure best New York fat for Rusty? I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to all that caption. I'm old school, man. You notice most of my tags are done with the cap that comes on the fucking thing, like the stock cap that it comes with. Just DWC. He was into the baseball orange tops, the baseball caps. They write like a baseball. Yeah. We would put them on the Rustos. They get clogged. We keep using the same cap for like a month. That shit would get clogged up. The tags would come out all skippy and shit. But I didn't give a fuck. People used to laugh at that shit. Like, yo, come on. I just do another one. It's not about being pretty. I'm trying to take over and cross everyone out. King shit. I don't give a fuck what you think about how it looks. So I never seen JRC on any garbage trucks. All right, so Monty. Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, let me ask my boys from Queens. Monty, NI is from Queens. And he says he never saw JRC up on trucks, on garbage trucks in Queens. All right, Monty, what's up, man? Let me see. Good night, bro. Hope I see you at Ripe's Halloween party. The whole crew from the old days are going to be there. Yeah, give me the information, man. I don't know how to get there, but you got to show me, man. I got a bicycle, man. I go on the subway, man. People got to throw me in front of a train. I'm a white boy. So now Monty said, nope, I never seen JRC on any garbage trucks. Yo, Monty, you still on there? Have you ever even heard of this JRC guy? Did he write? He's probably newer. All right. So, yeah, Monty says, no. Monty used to write NI. The NI fill-ins. Did a lot of whole cars with KK, PK, and them. Yeah, Monty. NI. He used to have a Grand National. Yeah, 87 Grand National. Pathologist, Carcass, Woody, 23. And Silver right in the tunnel. Yes, and Silver, yeah. Silver, yeah, them pounds. I got to the point where I was like, fuck them pounds, man. I'd use them damn Rustos. What's your favorite place, state, or city you have painted? I only painted Manhattan, New York. You know, I painted the Bronx, Brooklyn, shit like that, but just New York. All right. I caught a couple of tags and shit like that down in Jamaica, the West Indies. That's just because I was bored, but nothing serious. What's the favorite place to stand? We did that already. RS70 UGHC. You think there's any train tunnels that haven't been found yet? I've come across some weird shit in my life. I don't know about like a whole tunnel, but I'm sure there's shit around that's been abandoned since like 1901 or something. Which brings me to the point, yo, Jesus Saves? He's been doing some cool shit on YouTube, man. Jesus Saves, Spain Yunez is the name of his channel. And he's been exploring a lot of these abandoned areas and abandoned tunnels and all this shit. He was even putting shit on it I didn't even know existed. And I was a little tunnel creep, man. I was always creeping around them tunnels, man. We would do it even without spray paint. We'd just have a little bag of weed on us or something. Just walk around, fuck around, cut out of school and shit. Yeah. You think there are any train tunnels? All right, we did that pathologist, Carcass, Woody, 23, man. By the time I read that shit, it's like reading a book. All right, good question. Dan S., do you need a key for those hatches? I had a key for them. I had a key. It was like it looked like a jack that you would take the wheels off of a car with. It was like a cross, and each one had a different adapter on it that you would put on it, turn it. But you didn't necessarily need a key. We've done it with vice grips. Yeah, a vice grip. It works perfectly. You unscrew the back of it, the vice grip, you screw it, open it up wide, click on it, turn it. Oh, you just have one person run in from the station and pop the hatch for everyone else. Everyone else waits near the hatch. But I don't know. I didn't like to write like with whole hard groups of people. What's the worst shit I ever seen in a tunnel? I can't remember. I've seen all types of weird shit. A pretty lady sleeping. It was pretty interesting. I mean, she was dressed real nice and everything. She was sleeping. It was kind of weird. Like, she looked like she was out partying all night. Decided to go in the tunnel and fall asleep in the exit. I was like trying to rap to her. That was totally not the place to pick up a girl. Yeah. I wound up just leaving her there and kept moving. Those silver RD fill-ins you do on the maps or fire, keep letting them know. All right, that's Dog BX 456. Joe S. Yo, RD, you No, Bill Bangs, dildo, whatever. Melted nostril bone. Who's the most infamous gay graffiti writer? I don't know. I have no idea. Mike Never Ready. I heard, saw, and met. I heard, saw, and met JRC. Is this the JRC about the garbage trucks or something? I don't know. Yo, Monty and I lived in Queens his whole life. He's a graffiti writer and knows a bunch of graffiti writers in Queens. And he said he never saw the guy up on a truck. I think he left the chat, but I'll ask other people from Queens that would know. Especially being like people like NI, PK, and them are actually hitting the garbage trucks like me. I could say, yeah, I've seen Send 4, LA, Rock, Baya 3, this, that, blah, blah, Harlem, Lower East Side, EL3, this, that, blah, blah. You know, I could go through it, each area, Hell's Kitchen, NEC, NEC, but JRC just doesn't ring a bell. It does not. There's no blink. It doesn't happen. So now when Monty and I, who lives in Queens and lives right there around that area of Ravenwoods, that's where those people were from, pretty much, you would say, okay, you would know about garbage trucks, being that is like a main hub depot for the garbage trucks. And he says he never saw them. Then I have to take his word for it. I've known the guy a long, long time. I've known him since the 80s. If he's going to tell me he don't see it up there, what am I going to say? He's lying? I don't know. I'm starting to think you're JRC and you're just trying to get like a little shout out section going on for yourself here. But I have not heard of him. And he said he never heard of them. So I don't know. What are you talking about? Like last year or during the pandemic or something? I don't know. I have no idea about JRC. Never heard of them. Never, ever, ever. Hey, Tava, Anthony. Finger almost froze during that. I used to hate that shit. Ah. Yeah, and then when you ever have Tape, you ever do this shit when you spraying right, and it's so cold. And I've done freights in like 2-3 feet of snow, man. The whole sides are freights, man. And I'll tell you, yeah, and even just riding, like you said, on highways and shit like that, just walking, and you spray, and you ever lift your finger up, and the cap actually comes up, and it's stuck on your finger. It's like. That shit would happen. You spraying, and when you lift your finger, the cap is still on here. It sticks. It comes right out the little fucking piece, man. I used to love that shit. Oh man, graffiti, I love it, man. I get goosebumps just thinking about this shit. I think I Irsna, Dondi, Sean Rivera, and Alcatraz had a whole car window down, 2s and 5s. I don't remember that. What was that? What era there, Tabor? Pathologist Carcass, Woody 23. What movies have you had a tag in? I was actually going to do that, put little clips of each and every movie that I've had tags in, but I don't know. You really got that much time. Obviously, Ghostbusters. Conspiracy theory. I'm starting to think back, forward. Frankenhooker. A lot of Law and Orders. So many fucking movies, man. I'm trying to think. I can't. All right, I'm just gonna spin them out. I'm trying to think back to forward, but you have like Precious. I was in that. Rough Cut Diamonds. I was in that. Witness to the Mob, the Sammy Gavano story, 1976. But of course, it wasn't 1976 when I did the tag. But they go back in time, and there's a big RD there. New Jack City. I said conspiracy. All right, the Daredevil Netflix. A couple of episodes of that. I was in the Defenders. I was in a couple of episodes of that. I said Rough Cut Diamonds already. I said Precious. I have it written down somewhere, man.
You know where you can find that? Oh, but I don't put nothing on eBay. On my eBay listings, I would put that it's Mark's. I was like, at that point, like 40 something, 40 years or 38 years, I think it was with that when I was putting shit on eBay. I mean, now it's 43 years, but it was 38 years of graffiti in magazines and movies, documented proof standing through the 38 years of graffiti. And I listed all the movies, soap operas, TV shows, and everything on that fucking thing on my eBay. And I would just copy and paste it for every item I was selling on eBay. And if you could get to that, you could see it. If not, I have it written down somewhere here, but it's like 40, 50 fucking movies. Bone Collector. All right, what else am I? Yes. G Rocky, yeah, Earsnot comes to mind about the most gay. I like his hand style. Is he gay? Earsnot? Yeah, I believe so. I got to do it. I think JRC was a 90s writer along with Com and Teejum. I never heard of Com and Teejum either. Or is that Corn? No, it's Com and Teejum. Yeah, I never heard of them either. I remember like BB Koss and them, shit like that. But I don't know. Yeah, you're talking about different. The 90s, the garbage trucks weren't even running, like that anyway. All right, what's the most train cars inside do you think you did in one night? In one layup or one night? Because I remember one night going to Astoria layup and hitting 50, 60 cars, and then going up to the Sixers and hitting another 50, 60 cars, so like 120, 130 cars. I'm not going to lie, the last couple up in the Bronx there, I was tired. I wasn't destroying them like I would normally. But instead of hitting like 20, 30 tags in each car, I was catching like 10, So, yeah, I actually fell asleep there and I woke up and got the fuck out of there. The lights went on. But that would probably be it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they started pulling them out. It was like a Wednesday or something like that. And I remember I went to Astoria first, and I hit all Astoria layup from like Beebed all the way down to Ditmars, insides. And then I went up to the Sixers because I was done so early. And I went up to the Sixers, and I did the same thing up there. I also remember I remember going down under the Brooklyn Bridge on the 6 train. There's 2 tracks parked. There's 2 tracks. When you get Brooklyn Bridge Station on the 6th, not many people, if any, know about this at all. Just like when people are like, oh my God, I didn't know Grand Army Plaza parked 4 trains. I'm like, yeah, it'd be like, oh, down there, you're going to hit like 50, 60, 70, 80 cars in Brooklyn. Like I was saying, Skate TC5, Race 5 showed Sash that spot, showed us, and we went there. But Brooklyn Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge stop on the 6 train, the last stop on the 6 train, at midnight, they'd pull it back this way and then pull it up, and there's another 2 sets of tracks that way, and it would pull up almost behind a wall. And they would have 2 more sets there. They would fit 40 cars there, 2 sets. It's like 2 tracks, and each one would have 2 sets. So it would be 20 on one track, 20 on the other. You could come out there 40 insides. Or you could just do outsides. You could do pieces there, laced pieces there. Blockbusters with, I believe the Kaya, Sash, Lace, Skate whole car. Puts a lot of people to fit on one car, but that was done there. A lot of lace pieces that ran on the 6s were done there. I believe Lace even pulled off a couple of whole cars down under there, on the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, the way we would get into Brooklyn Bridge is we would get on the 4 or the 5 and take it to Fulton Street, the next stop, because the 6 train, the last stop is Brooklyn Bridge. So you want to go past that, go to Fulton, and then walk up to the Brooklyn Bridge stop. and I get the trains that way. But the Brooklyn Bridge stop actually has a piece of glass with like motormen and shit controlling trains and like panels and stuff like that. So you can't really, you just gotta get down low, and why risk it when you could just go to Fulton Street and just walk right in like you own the place, you know? But that's how we would do it there. And I was just getting ready to say one night, a couple of nights actually, I hit that place first and then went up to the Sixers, like Middletown Road, Pelham Bay, all those stops up there. Yeah, what do you have? Up to Pelham Bay, and it's Lawrence. So go for it. Yeah, so it's like Middletown Road, all that 6 train layup all the way up there. It was just like Astoria, and I would hit that too. So I did get a lot. And then the next day, everything that I did would run, because all the shit that's running currently while I'm doing the graffiti gets pulled out into those layups, while the stuff that's in them layups gets pulled up. So I would literally have every car on the line. I mean, the Sixers are a small line. A lot of people go, wow, this, that, but it's really only 200 and something cars, 250 cars. They switch them quite often, but I mean, the Sixers really did just stay on the Sixers. I mean, I've seen myself pop up on the 3s and shit like that very rarely, but yeah, if you hit the 6s, it wasn't going to switch. Like if you hit the 2s and 5s, you could wind up on the 4s, the 3s, even the fucking 1s. But when you hit the 6s, stayed on the 6. And yeah, I would kill that shit. It was an easy line to get. I mean, it was hard to actually get because of the Pelham Bay Graffiti Squad and the fact that it's all hills around you, and they would drive around these little Pinto and these Vegas cars and shit, and they'd look down, all the lights would be on in the layup, and the trains were all painted white, and they could see you moving around inside. If not, they'll see you on the outside paint because it's bright white and all the lights are on, so they could actually see like a silhouette of a human being. So they would come and raid the place. I swear, I could hit that layup 10 times, and out of 10 times, like 7 or 8 times, the motherfuckers would come after me and try and catch me. That's how hot that shit was. I mean, most people could go through their whole life writing graffiti and never getting raided. I'd get raided like 3 times a month. For real, I was out there like that. People know. Yeah. I also I'm just reading this thing about a movie, and I'm thinking there's one about a rock star. I don't know if it was about the Sid Vicious story or some shit like that, but yeah. Also the Bernard Gates case, Bernard Gates, when he shot those people. The train that they were using to reenact it had a lace and RD in it. But the actual train that they shot him in, I probably had that too. But the train that they were using to re-simulate the actions that Bernard Gates had taken, reenacting the crime, so to say, I had the insides of that, and that was on TV. Yeah. Let me move on here. Your video filming the street artists fixing their wall downtown was so funny. Damn, that's grimy. So funny, bro. Yeah. Yo, they messed up your wall. Right? Say, yo, they messed up your wall. Dang, you can't have nothing nice in New York City, right? No, on my Patreon, I have the whole video, man. They weren't liking that shit too much. That was funny. I kept rubbing that shit. I'm like, damn, you guys come out here, you take your time out, you do this beautiful thing, and some bastard comes by in a couple of seconds and ruins it. I remember, I was like, what is that? Black Lives Matter? Well, that's what I said. What, Black Lives Matter get you? What'd it say? That was funny. Oh, man. Conspiracy Theory was a good movie. Yeah, G. Rocker. If you look at Conspiracy Theory, when Mel Gibson hops out of that taxi cab on the 59th Street Bridge, and he arguing with that girl because she don't know what he's talking about or some shit like that. Yeah, look at that shit. The big RD tag right above his head. All right, so Monty responded back. Monty NI357 responded back. He said, no, I never, ever heard of JRC or seen him up. So there goes your thing, and that's pretty much what I said. RD, do you have doppelganger? I don't even know what the fuck that shit is, man. What's your pleasure to say hi from Helsinki, Finland? Your page is the best. Hey, Finland, that's a new one. How you pronounce that? Quasi, like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, Quasimodo, Quasi, right? Well, welcome. It's very nice. I think you're the first guy that said you're from Finland. I got a funny one. When we used to shoplift, right, I'd always come up with something that don't exist. Like, so you have a reason to leave the store without buying something. When it came to spray paint, I always said Battleship Gray. Krylon Battleship Gray. I need Krylon Battleship Gray. It doesn't exist. I'm like, sorry, I can't help you. Oh, okay, thank you. I'll try somewhere else. And when we're shoplifting from stores, I would always say, when they were, this, that, and they start trying to fuck with you and see if you're stealing or something, you start giving them all these crazy questions, make them reach out. They'll disappear. They go hide. They don't want to work. So I always said, you got any snails and vinegar from Finland? I swear, next time I get D3 on, let's see if he remembers that shit. Snails and vinegar from Finland. Snails and vinegar from Finland. Yeah, that's what I used to tell them. I don't know. We got some over there or something like that, like olives. It would be in that area, like artichokes and olives and shit. I don't think we have that, but if we did, it would be over there. Snails and vinegar from Finland, and we have all that. We have the gym bags. We fill them up with all them whole meat section, bro. We have the fucking steaks like crazy, man. Yeah, we steal steaks, everything, salmon. Oh, yeah. Actually, I knew a lot of bodybuilders, so they would buy that shit off me. A lot of like gain weight powder and shit like that. Yeah, snails and vinegar from Finland. That's a true story, man. That's crazy. This guy here is from Finland, man. I'm gonna keep an eye on you, Kwasi. I'm gonna see when you come on. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I like, other people. What do you guys got a graffiti scene out there? Yeah, Kwasi. Yep. Like, what do you guys do? What do you guys still got trains running out there? You doing streets? What's the deal? I don't think I know anyone from Finland. See, I got to get this thing where we could split the screen and have people come on. I can invite them on SteamYard or something like that. And I could get this guy on, man. That'd be cool, man. I want to hear what's going on from Finland. Born without nostrils, that's gun. That's a gun. You remember OX and tension? Nope, don't remember OX and tension. All right. Yeah, I was in Precious, that movie too. I said that, right? Sid and Nancy. I don't know if that was it. It might have been a different rock and roll thing. I don't know. So many fucking rock and roll people stayed at the Chelsea Hotel. That's just why I'm thinking the Sex Pistols. I think it was actually a movie about the fucking hotel over there. Danker owner, you ever feel like a sucker for paying for things you could? Yeah, I still to this day I cannot purchase toilet paper. I can't. Like, I'm like, no, I ain't gonna wipe my ass with money, man. Fuck that. I will not buy toilet paper. I steal that shit. You ever feel like a sucker?
After Beat Street, the scene, this is the guy from Finland, was booming, but in the late 80s, the trains was so hard to hit, so many people started to go for the streets. Yeah, that's what I think about. I mean, a lot of Europe, man, people are telling me, man, trains are smashed, like how it was here in the 80s. And these dudes were writers in the 80s here that are in Europe now making money off graft that I've known since I was young, you know. A lot of people tell me, "Oh, you gotta come out here." I'm like, "What the fuck, man? If it ain't New York, I don't want to be bothered with it." You know what else I like to do a lot? This is for Danker owner, being you're not the only one. I like to try and match things up. Like every time I go to buy food from the grocery store, I'll steal a pack of American cheese. That's just like almost $9 here. So that kind of gets rid of all the tax and all the little bullshit haggling of them charging so much for stuff. You know, it's like it's a perfect size, fits right in the back pocket, and it's pretty expensive. I mean, that's like it's almost like a $10 coupon, a $9 coupon. Yeah, stick that in your pocket. Boom. Got a couple slabs of American cheese, you're good to go. You throw that shit on bread, put it on a cheeseburger, whatever. Yeah, I always, little things like that. And I just think just to feel like I'm not getting so like jerked by, and that helps. It really does, man. That really fucking helps. Yeah. I mean, it's, subconsciously in your mind, you can walk away feeling like, you're still on top. Your balls are still intact. Yeah. But yeah, always cheese. Cheese expensive. You're thinking things that are small, light, and expensive. You steal it. That's why I never understood this whole thing. Oh, spray paint. You have to steal your spray paint. I don't know. When I was younger, I did have to steal my spray paint because I was too young. I couldn't walk up and physically purchase this shit. But once I became of legal age to purchase my spray paint, I'd fucking rob and steal and just get a bunch of money and buy spray paint. That's pretty much what I did, except for some of these theaters on Broadway where they would have the Cats playing Broadway play Cats, the Winter Garden Theater. I'd go in there and they would actually have like the stage set hand place where they like decorate the stages and shit, and they'd have a whole room full of fucking spray paint, man. Yeah, rooms full of it, like as far as the eye could see. So I never really had a problem. I didn't have to run around. If I did, like this time's like Nash, he could probably come on here and be like, "Yo, come on, Rob." And then, yeah, I would do it for fun. Like I'd go shoplifting with like Nash or something like that. A couple other people maybe just for shit and giggles. Not because I needed the paint. They needed the paint or something like that. And I would go, and I'd just steal it just to hang out and have fun. But I didn't have to do that. What's the most expensive thing you've ever taken? I don't know, probably diamonds, something like that. I think the most money I ever got was from Minx, from Fred the Furrier on 57th Street. I broke the window, grabbed a bunch of Minx. That's over there where Trump Plaza is now, where that big building is for Donald Trump. Yeah, like right around the corner from there. Imagine that shit. That's balls, man. Bust the whole fucking front window and grab a bunch of minks. That would be the money I made the most from stealing shit like that. I picked off a couple of drug dealers and got some good money too. That's G Rocker. Insane fame. Yo, RD, what's the story with carving the name in dude's back? That was Ghost that got carved in the back by Spawn. GNR, Guns and Razors. Pulled a gun to him and cut him off. Greeks and Rastas, GNR. Yeah. Spawn. All right. Just watch a doc on Res 5. Did you guys ever cross paths? I never even heard of Res 5. Res 2, that's my boy, Pecto. But I never heard of Res 5. I actually, Pecto's the Albanians. He was just, D3 was just here. He was talking to him on the phone. Pecto, Res 2, RES 2. But I don't know no Res 5. When I was a kid, I'd line at a Dunkin' Donut bag with newspapers. So looked like in a box of the and I take multiple packs of beer. Yo, Ross, he's dead now, but he was the best at beer. You know how you have a 6-pack of beer? It's like 3 cans here and then 3 cans here. He would take the 3 cans, like say he has 3 cans and 3 cans. He'd flip them up like this and then just stick them right down his pants. Yeah, he was good, man. Then he would stick like 3 in each sleeve. Yo, that dude would walk out with like a case. Ross. Brother Ross, rest in peace, man. Sack. When I was a kid, I danko and just sell them or trade them for weed and shit. Wow, babies. Anthony Tabor, Dopenlanger is your twin, someone that looks like you. I didn't know that. Dopenlanger. Anthony and that's from Tabe. Anthony Valdez. Antonio Vidals. Are you from 116th and Pleasant, Antonio Vidals? No, you wouldn't be asking me if I ever dipped in on a cab. You know I did that if you were the person I was thinking. Of course. Yes, of course I've dipped on cabs. I was talking about this guy, Ginky, who's a good friend of mine, that passed away. He was like one of the best pool players on earth. You could Google him, Ginky. Ginky. And last time I saw him alive, I was dipping out a cab on 85th and 1st, cutting through. It's like used to be a Carvel there. And it's like a little place where people could eat their ice cream and shit. I was cutting through like that. I had a cab driver. He had left his doors open, everything coming after me and shit. I ran past Ginky. Yo, what up, Ginky? Yeah, I can't talk now. He's like, you're crazy. Yeah, last time I saw him. But yeah, I've dipped on cabs. You know, I saw Joe Rogan once talking about Ginky. And he was with that Joey Dietz or something like that. And they were talking about Ginky. And they're talking about how he hurt his back from playing pool, having to lean over, playing pool with the pool stick over and over again, hurt his back. But that's not true. He hurt his back in a motorcycle accident. He was riding powerful motorcycles like we all were doing, you know. And he hurt his back. He crashed. And maybe he told them, you know, it's from that. You know, you don't want to tell me he's hanging out with us stealing motorcycles. I mean, I'm not saying he stole that motorcycle, but that's what we did. We'd steal motorcycles. And he hung out with us, so. Grabbing beers and doing the jet is ultra fun. Yeah. Yeah. Infamous fame. Spawn. Spontaneous Sace. Yeah, that's Spawn. All right. Kez 5. Yeah, I knew Kez 5. Yes. I've done all episodes. I'm going to go back. Oh, so Res 5. Really, it was a typo. The R was a K. I see what you're saying. So it's Kez 5. Yeah. Nesto, right? Yeah. Yeah, you know that autocorrect, man? That shit don't work when you're talking about graffiti. That shit comes out all crazy. I was on what the fuck was it? NYC Crime Spot. And they were talking about this thing, and I'm talking about, hey, Ron, you know, it's a Scientology thing that I was watching. And the way that shit came out, man, he's like, what the fuck you saying, Rob? I was like, no, forget it. I'm trying to say something. No, this, that. And it kept coming out crazy. And the more I'm trying to correct myself, the more it kept getting more fucked up. I had to physically sit there and put it in.
No, my son, he don't buy toilet paper. He uses the shit I steal. But he don't steal it. My kid, he don't like graffiti. He don't like graffiti at all. He thinks it's stupid. But I mean, that boy can paint, man. Don't get me wrong, man. He can paint his ass off, man. He's like fucking Caravaggio up in there. He does like that 16th century shit. A lot of religious paintings he does. My son is real good with that. You should check him out, people. Bobby, that's Bobby __ Dyer, Dyer. That's my son. How did you feel? This is from Pathologist Carcass Woody 23. How did you feel when all those LA dudes came through New York and smashed it? When? I don't remember that. I don't know. I remember, I think Haler and Cult, the DMS guys, they might be from like California. They're not from New York, I'll say that much. And they came around a little bit. They crossed us out a little bit, and we crossed them, and they disappeared like one winter or something like that. Like half a winter, like 4 or 5 months they came out and they were going, but they didn't get up like smashed it like the way you worded it. Nowadays, I don't know. I see so much different shit out there. I don't know where these fucking people are from. I can hardly read half the shit that's out there now. I can hardly read that shit. Like, nor do I even want to read it. It's like garbage. But I was unaware of that. I don't know if that's even true. I mean, we just had some guy come on here saying JRC had a lot of garbage trucks, and so far no one's even heard of him. No one's ever even heard of this guy. He had a lot of garbage trucks in Queens. But yet, no one ever even heard of this guy. And these guys are like graffiti legends from Queens that are saying, I don't know, I never heard of the guy. So you got to kind of wonder. I don't know. I never heard of that about California coming over here and doing that. I really do keep to myself with my people. I don't like really associate with all these graffiti writers. Like I said, we were criminals that wrote graffiti. I really have nothing in common with your garden variety of graffiti writers in New York City. I have very little in common with most of those people. I stick with the people I grew up with and I know and I hang out with. Those are the people that I know about. You done messed up. Hey, Ron. How come you ain't come when I called your name, right? Because it's Aaron. I love that shit. Yo, you watch that too? Hey, Ron. But yeah, I was trying to explain it on NYC Crime Spot, and I think they thought I was on drugs or some shit. So I stopped commenting. How did you feel when all those LA dudes came through? I don't know. Could you go into the best times for hitting spots and more details on that? I see your old video about best times to go out for. All right. Could you go into the best times? That's pretty much what I've been doing on here a lot there. C's Bait Co. Definitely the train era. Early on the trains. Towards the end, you had people like J.A. and Reese and Omni, and then they started writing graffiti and fucking everything up with their yuppie shit. But other than that, no, it was pretty cool. It was great. It's fun as fuck. Dan has, you done messed up. Justin Carr. Are you religious, Rob? Yeah. I was raised a Catholic. I First Holy Communion, confirmation. I was even an altar boy. And Our Lady of Peace, St. John's also. Yeah. My son, he gives his paintings to a lot of churches. He just gave one out in Comac, Long Island, and went to the Philippines. Now, Skid, yeah, he's from here. But what do you guys consider Skid? Someone that came from California to here to destroy shit? No, Skid's from Queens. He's from here and went to California and destroyed shit. You got it backwards. Skid's from here. Skid's from New York. I know. I've wrote with him. I've hung out with him a lot. Skid's a good friend of mine. And he's from New York that went to L.A. for a little while and then came back, just like J.A., I guess, right? And that would be the same with MQ, too. I don't know about L.A., but MQ was from here, and then he went somewhere else and was writing graffiti. And if he comes back, it's not like he's coming back from there to write here, right? He's from here. He went there. You get me? Anything you do like that, you're seeing. Oh, wait. Emmett O'Donnell. Anything you do like that, you're seeing now. Let me read that again. Anything you do like that, you're seeing now. I don't know what the fuck you're trying to say there, Emmett. Sorry, man. Was there a Long Island Railroad Amtrak commuter train layup in the city? Yes. Wait a minute. Let me not misquote that. Let me read this again. And was there a Long Island Railroad and Amtrak commuter trains layup in the city? All right. Yes. You also had a Long Island Railroad train yard in Long Island City in Queens. But when you say the city, I'm thinking Manhattan Island, because that's what you call a city. The city is Manhattan Island. The outer boroughs would be Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, the Bronx. So when you say New York City, you mean here, where I am. You get me? So in New York City, yes. Under Grand Central Station, track 56 to 62, they would park the Metro North trains. And the Long Island Railroad, you could go down to the bottom level of Penn Station, and I don't remember the tracks, 32 or something. And you go all the way, like if you're walking downtown to the furthest staircase that goes down to the track. I don't know what it would be, the number I can't remember. You go down there and you go in the tunnel and they park a bunch there. But you also had the Long Island Railroads where, and across from like Penn Station, but like 12th Avenue, and like behind the post office. And now they're actually building a whole fucking world on top of it. But it was an outdoor train yard I've hit there. I've hit Amtrak's there. I've hit Long Island Railroads there. I've actually had sex in there with a girlfriend of mine. Yeah, but that's out. That was outdoors, like around the 30s, and now it's gone. I think they built on top of it. They built all these big buildings on top of it. If you look online, you can see the Oculus, whatever the fuck they call it. It's like a big statue with like these little glass circles in it and shit. It looks like some weird shit, like a beehive or something. But that thing's built on top of the Amtrak yard. And then there's a Long Island Railroad yard out in Queens. So in Manhattan, yes, you could get all 3 or 4 of those lines if you wanted to. You can even get the Jersey Pat train. All right. So the answer to that is yes. And that's RS70 UGAC. My pathologist, carcass, whatever. I don't know back a little bit. My bad. They killed San Francisco because it's a small city. I should change the wording. And came through and got. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. It's all good, man. All right. DSK, Key and Peele. Hey, Ron. What catches your eye nowadays? I'll tell you, I don't even look at women no more, man. Yeah, all these women are ugly as fuck, man. They got all these weird looking asses and shit, and these fake tits and fucking lips and shit. You look at them, they're ready to dump a can of mace in your fucking eyes. So I don't look at much of anything, man. I'm assuming I know you're talking about graffiti. I don't know. I mean, there's certain things you can't help but see, like Anso. But I don't really follow anything. I like that Red Eye Mob thing, the REM on 14th Street. It's above where the Grace Papaya used to be. That's pretty cool. It's done with a roller. It's very big. It's in your face. I like that bat, the bat Ola. Every time I mention him, people are like, you mean neck face? I'm like, no, I mean the bat, the ugly bat. Stay ugly, the bat. And, oh, no, you. It's like this JRC thing. It's shit, like you're trying to tell me what I'm talking about. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, that guy that does the bat all over the place. Never met him. Don't know anything about him, but I like that bat. It's almost like the bat signal bat. That's cool. What else do I like? I like. All right. I like how Goog does the straight letters. Those are nice. I don't like his bubble letters, Goog, but he does real nice straight letters. I like his 3D. He really understands it. He does it like train style shit, like how they used to do it on the subways. Who else do I like out there? That's probably about it. Can't think of nothing else. You know, I'm talking about illegal stuff. Right? Nowadays we did that. G Rock, I am too high to understand what Emmett was trying to say. I don't even know who Emmett is. Christian Alvarado, Emmett Barron, Irish 17 is Emmett. No, like Irish 17, the graffiti writer, Barron's bombing partner, was Emmett. Christian Alvarado. Who started NRG crew? Skay. All right. Try. Haha. Melted nostril without nostrils. How about stickers? I don't like stickers. I mean, I've put them up here and there, but I've never really fancied them. You ever seen a top to bottom Amtrak double decker Hulk car painted? I honestly don't even think I ever even seen an Amtrak double decker train. Well, mine was painted. Hey, I'm not sure if you answered this. I was busy. By what's the meaning behind 357 crew? I don't know. I don't know. I did not invent the crew. I wrote it over 156 crew. This guy Bind was going over lace and shit like that. And yeah, I wrote it over him. We went home. I did it a couple of times. He's like, yo, what's that shit? I don't know. They're writing some bullshit about. Well, this is the first time I ever even heard about 156. They just came out or something. And I had told him because they're writing this 156 shit, 357, boom, boom, you know, like a gun. I figured that's some cool shit to write over a motherfucker, and that's why I wrote it. And he's like, yo, that'd be a good crew. So I was like, I don't know about all that shit. You know, it's just like writing like fuck you over them, you know, 357, like, you know, like mocking the number 156. Like, this is a real number, motherfucker. And that's the truth. That's the reason I did that. I wrote over 156. Lace, oh no, 357 was out first. This, that. And that's not true. They all, Lace, D3, JJ when he was alive, and everyone all agreed that, you know, they got it from me, from writing it over 156. So how are you going to get it from me and not know why I wrote it? You get me? It's just like you guys telling me before about who I see up. Like, you have to see this guy. I'm like, I don't. Like, I'm sorry. You know? But yeah, I wrote that like over, like just like Min, RTW, when he's Ghost, he's like, you've been slimed or some shit like that, right? And then he's like, I ain't afraid of no ghost. Min, RTW, you know? Yeah, it's like, you know, it's popping shit. Like, you know, people thought, oh, 156. What the fuck is that shit, man? 357. You know? And we went to Andrew's house, Lace, and smoked a nice fat joint. And he was like, "Yo, that 357 shit, that's kind of hot, man. What's, you know?" I said, "Well, I'm just, you know, it's kind of like responding back to the number that they're writing, you know." I said, "I like that shit. I'm going, go home." I went home. Like a day or two later, I go back over Lace's house. John's there. D3's there. I forget who else. I think that was it. It's like, "Oh man, that 357, you know," he brought it up again, and D3 and John like, "Yo, that's hot, man. Yo, this, that, blah, 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 blah." So turned it, so, "Yo, let's make it a crew." I said, "Come on, man. It's kind of like stupid, man." I mean, that's my honest opinion. I always thought it was stupid. I wrote it because it became a thing that is like what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So that's how it became a crew. I actually think it's a dumb crew. And to be truthful with you, it's got a lot of good writers in it, but I just think, like, even for instance, here's a perfect example of the Hall of Fame. Lace was going to do it. He wanted to do a 357 piece, just the number 357. You know, he had a nice outline together. And no, you can't do that in here. You know, it's children with school. So he wound up doing a TFS, and he did it above chain 3. Teabag, I think he did a teabag piece below Stay High 149. Yeah, that's the year he was running around drawing all the Stay High stick figures all over the place. And he wrote TFS 357. And, you know, just weird little reasons like that. Like, it's kind of like a gang or something. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds, you know, it's kind of like a violent ring to it. Most people would like that, but I just think it's kind of on the nose overkill. You know what I'm saying? That was my personal opinion about 357. I pushed it, don't get me wrong. I'll tell you, throughout my street years, I hardly ever pushed it. The only time I would write 357 if I was doing a huge blockbuster. You know, if I was doing something other than a tag. If I'm going to do a tag, I'm just doing RD. I'm going to write 357. I mean, of course, I've done it. And people, you know, hanging out with people or something, nothing better to do is a little piece of space lifted and it looks like something's missing or something, I'll do a 357. But like, I swear, throughout my whole run with Just, I never wrote it. Throughout my whole run with RE, I never wrote it. They wrote it more than I did. Like, RE wrote 357 a lot. D3 writes it almost every time he does a tag. I hardly ever write it. I'll do it in, like I said, like a blockbuster or something like that. Something that's more than just me catching a tag and keeping it moving. If I'm doing, you know, like something a little more taking time and productive or something like that. No, I mean, the blockbusters, the R, the line comes down. I do the 357 here. And in the D, I do the RD going that way. Every single time. Well, I could probably show you what I'm talking about if I just could find something. Yeah, I got shit laying all over the place, but just look at the truck. The one I just posted exactly 357 in the R, the RD tag in the D, same exact spot every single time, even since the 1980s. If you look at my subways, the whole cars and the top to bottoms, I was doing in that 357 in the R, in the bottom of the R, and RD tag in the loop of the D every single time. That's how I did it. Nothing more, nothing less. Well, actually, no, I did write Robert Dyer. A couple of them, I did that. Robert Dyer, The Pain Don't Go Away. Yeah, shit like that. But other than that, normally just 357 RD. So that's the meaning behind the 357 crew. I never turned it into a crew. Justin Carr's Sucky Bat with the boy Ola. The Viking, they hit some crazy spots. Yeah, I like that shit. That's the one I'm talking about. It's like the bat signal. I also like a lot of that shit with that QZAR. I love that shit, man. I'm a big fan of that shit. The Quasar. I thought it said Czar, like a czar. You know, isn't that how you would spell it? No, that would be CZAR, right? So QZAR. I like that shit. They hang off the sides of buildings and go down. And XSM, also I like. That's the people I was thinking of. Thank you for that. Who was that? Justin Carr. Yeah. Thank you. You refreshed my memory there. But that's the guy. Yeah, that's the one I talk about. A guy does a bat. He did the Gramercy Theater, like on Canopy, the yawning. It's not even a yawning. It's actually like a movie theater. And he climbed up on that shit. He did that shit. They put like an electrical box and everything, man. I mean, after he did it, they like electricians came in and put up like fuse boxes and shit. Yeah, that shit's gonna be there forever. Yeah. That's the Gramercy Theater. That's where like a lot of hardcore punk rock bands, just bands in general, rappers and shit like that. Isn't that where that guy got shot? That girl shot him or something? Oh, man. Like Washington Irving Plaza is over there. Man, there was a shootout there, man. Like some rap dude shot another rap dude or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't listen to rap music. RD, do you know Tone? No, never heard of Eurotow 357. Do you care when you see that because of 357? I never saw it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I don't even know what that shit says. Erupto 357. Do you care when you see that because of 357? No. You ever hear this guy that writes part TDS? Part TDS. He used to write Fudge 357 before I even fucking knew what graffiti was. Like back in the 1970s, like early 70s, he was doing these Fudge 357 pieces before I even thought about writing graffiti. So I don't understand what you mean. But I had never heard of this Erupto guy. Never heard of it. All right. Pathologists shouldn't ask that question. They don't want a RICO, bro. Senator Pathologist shouldn't ask that question. They don't want a RICO. I don't know what a RICO case. Come on, you gotta be like-minded brains scamming on money. Not even like political influence. I mean, that's a new one nowadays with what's going on. But yeah, for better gains, it has to be. Not for writing graffiti. That's not a RICO. Come on, man. Michael Roser. Yes, part TDS. Is a legend, yeah. He used to do Fudge pieces. Fudge 357. Then you had Shy Min Berlin 357. You had a lot of people, that before us. Whatever happened to MR and OC 357? I mean, Mr. Wonderful and Otto. He's on here all the time. He's probably in this chat room right now. MR. He's probably in here right now. MR. He's always coming on here. That's saying hi to me and shit. I haven't seen him in a long time. Otto, I probably haven't seen in like 30 years or something by now. OC. Hit and run. Yeah, I remember them guys. Yeah. A little hit and run. G-Rock. Part is really good. Yeah, part's the shit, man. All right. Part is really good. Big cranium ODS 02M checking in. DMK, JAXTC. That brings me to something. And the comments I've been deleting on my thing, people are putting on all this crazy, like, bad shit about JA. That's not cool. Don't do that shit on my page, man. I got nothing, you don't, like, yeah, don't do that, man. That's being very disrespectful, man. I'm on here talking my thing, and you can't be coming on here like using like words like pedophilia and rats and stuff like that. Like, I don't understand what you mean by that. Like JA and LES and stuff. That's crazy. Don't do that on my shit, man. I'm just gonna delete it if you do. Like people talking all this shit about JA, and I mean. That's not cool. You don't want to go like that. is like what everyone's been doing from day one. Like I had that done to me. People have called me a transvestite, a drug addict, a bum. I'm this, I'm that. Like fucking as long as the computers have been around. And I never gave a fuck. As a matter of fact, I like that. And the reason I like that is because if a police officer reads that, he won't think that I'm like a research scientist working for the Department of fucking Health, living in one of the richest neighborhoods on the face of this fucking earth. So let's be real. I loved when you guys did that, but you would just, then when I get arrested and you find out that I'm a research scientist working for the Department of Health, living in the richest neighborhood on earth, then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, we can't use that no more, you know? But yeah, that was funny shit. Don't come on here venting out on other writers, you know, like especially when you're starting talking about that pedophile and porno and this and that and all types of stupid shit. Like those are words that get flagged, and I don't really give a fuck. They flag me, I'll just come up with another name and start all over again. I'm not getting no money out of this. I'm not monetized on this. Someone's like, oh, I wouldn't know if you're monetized or not. When I go live right now, I'm live, right? Look at the bottom. Do you see any way you could give me any fucking money? That I'm not fucking monetized. You go on other ones, it always has a little dollar sign there. You can hit that and donate money and do super chats and all that shit. I don't have that. Look right now. Look, do you see it? No. So I am not fucking monetized. You don't have to. There's a couple of people. Oh, well, I pay for premium, so I don't have to see commercials. I wouldn't know if you're monetized. I was like, yeah, you would. Just look right down there. If you ever went on a live chat before, you can always see if they're monetized. It'll say, give me money, a little dollar sign, a bag of money or something like that. You don't see that shit there. That's why I have a little buy me a coffee thing. And I do my Patreon. On here, I really have just been going live. I drop a couple things here and there. But I'm concentrating on my Patreon. I've been putting a lot of live footage of me actually bombing or writing graffiti and stuff like that. I don't know what else to say about that. But getting back to this thing about JA and people talking all that shit, like, I don't care if you're actually talking about something. Like, what I'm doing here is the truth. And I don't like when people come on with, like, just like that troll guy. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he caught on and left, the Humvee P guy, whatever the fuck it is, on here with ARD and all that stupid shit. He's gone. I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a while. But I don't care about that. But when you actually go on and start like accusing people of being fucking pedos and shit like that, and that's fucked up, man. You know, that's fucked up. Like I said, I've been down that road. And I honestly didn't give a fuck. Like I really, when I was even in streets of saying things, it's been going on before that, since like the AOL chat room, they've been putting my address on, and D3 was living with me as a roommate. And yeah, a lot of shit was going on. I ain't really give a fuck. I always keep the same thing in mind, man. When you come out of juvenile centers, yeah, someone get within your space, man, you're going to do what you're going to do regardless of what anyone's saying on any fucking computer. You come in my physical space with your face all screwed up, it's on. That's the bottom line. Yeah. And I always stuck by that. I never really feared any graffiti writers or worried, was scared of anyone like that. I never looked at it that way at all. Like everyone was so far off the mark of my reality and how I actually live my life that it's actually comical that people still today are trying to do the same shit. But now you're actually trying to do it to JA. And I have no reason to big up JA. I have no reason. I mean, we squashed our beef. I got no problems. You people ask me what happened, just like you asked me about that book with Espo and this and that, and my fight with Chino. So I honestly answer you. That's it. Just like with Ghost. I go, oh, who would win in a fight with this one and that one and this and that, talking about Ghost. And I'm like, I wouldn't know. He wouldn't fight me. Like, oh, it's this and that. And I was honest. I said, I don't know, because the man refused to fight me. Same with TK. TK didn't want to fight me. TNR refused to fight me. I don't know. Can't answer a question I don't have an answer to. I mean, I'm not going to sit here lying to you people. It's the internet. You guys sleuths and shit like that. You come on here, you figure out every little thing, and then you get caught in a lie. So, I don't know. I forget how the whole thing even came up about that thing with Ghost. And I was like, you know, I really was like, I was on here for like 3 years, not saying nothing about it, you know, just skating through. I actually like Ghost stuff, do nothing but big up the guy. And even on that Angel Z podcast thing, people keep asking, oh, yo, this, that, blah, blah. I said, well, this is what happened. You know, I tell you, Guys are all mad at me and think like the guy is like, and you got to realize he's just a dude that grew up in like Queens, like smoked weed, drank beer and shit like that, the angel dust, whatever. It's not like he's like some fucking Charlatan monk or fucking down with like the League of Shadows or something like that. It's just a fucking dude living in a flat tenement apartment, probably similar to this one. You guys got him worked up like he's fucking Conan the Barbarian or something. He was actually a little guy, Ghost. Not a big dude at all. This was, when I saw him, a little skinny dude. That's even with winter clothing on. Nothing impressive at all. Like a little bigger than Min. What's she smoking on over there? I don't know. It's marijuana. I don't know the actual name of it. Like, you could go by the bags, but they just throw anything in them bags. They don't give a fuck. It's good, but I think that's sort of Skittles, I think they called it. When is the last fight you've been in? It's been years for me. 4 days ago. See my knuckles? 4 days ago. 4 days ago. Last time I was in a fight. No. Almost a week now. Friday it'll be a week. Yeah. No, Friday was when it was raining. Yeah, Thursday. Is it midnight? Yeah, it's like tomorrow will be a week. So 6-7 days ago, I was in a fight. You see my knuckles? YNX1. I try. Do have any badass stuff? Do I have? Is that what you mean? Do I have any badass stuff? I don't understand. Sorry. You rocked never were able to get a flick of. Oh, you have any badass stuff you rocked and never got a flick of? Yeah, there is a couple of things. About 4 or 5 whole cars I've done. I've had pictures of, but don't have anymore. I don't know. I just got lost through fires, divorces, moving, and stuff like that. To be truthful with you, the one that's in that book where it says the pain don't go away, I never had pictures of that. I'm sure Gary Sash, because it says Gary Sash RD, the whole car. And that RD, I never took pictures of it. I actually forgot I did it until it popped up in that book, I believe. I'm sure that's the same one that we're talking about. But yeah, don't even, like, I did that with Gary Sash and just, he was going down, and he wasn't writing graffiti much anymore. He quit and started getting into bodybuilding. Sash 357. And he had a bunch of paint, and we were talking, bumped into the street. I'm like, come on, I'll go right now, man. I don't give a fuck. Oh, for real? Yeah. I mean, he knew all the tunnels, all the layups, Sash, but he was just had a bunch of paint in his house. So I was like, yeah, let's go. So me and him went down there and we did our whole car. And I actually used a bunch of scraps that was in the tunnel already, because we would have this one area, it's maybe 4 feet by 8 feet room with a metal sliding door. And we would go through the layup and clean up the layup after the weekend was over, like Sunday, like after all these assholes were running around writing graffiti all over the place, leaving spray paint all over the fucking place. We literally walked through the whole layup with bags and picked up all the cans of spray paint. And we threw them in this one big room. So every so often we needed a color, we ran out of white or something like that, or whatever. We'd run in that room, and at one point, because you go in and you go down a ladder, like maybe 4 feet, 5 feet down this ladder, 4 or 5 feet. There's a drainage pipe there. And it got to the point, like towards probably by 1988, that room was filled up where it was almost a floor of spray paint. It was like 4 feet deep of spray paint cans. And we would go in there like and just find paint. And I actually did that whole top to bottom. You could look, my outline starts out in like a true blue. And I wind up running out of true blue, and I finished it with black. So I think half my R is done with true blue outline. The rest of my D is in black, and it says the pain don't go away. RD, Robert Dyer, 62, because I was living on 62nd Street. And yeah, I did that just all with scraps that was left in that room. We could do that. We could go down there and like just you go in there and you just shake a bunch of cans and you find like this much in one, that and this, and you just got to put it all together and you make a piece. Like we used to do that shit all the time. We'd hit insides too. You know, like I remember finding like a whole can of cherry red in there and like a whole can of like true blue and shit. And that is, run around doing insides and stuff like that. Yeah. I remember Dero, TFA, and them. He ran away from us. He didn't know who we were. Well, we were acting like, we would do that when we knew people were in the tunnel writing graffiti. We'd make noise and act like cops, and they'd run away. And sometimes they'd leave their paint there, and that's what Dero did. He had a Blues Brothers outline and a Dero outline in the bag, in one of the pockets. I still have the Dero outline somewhere laying around here. DERO, TFA. Let me get back to some questions here. But yeah, there's a couple of things I've done that I never saw. On the shuttle, the actual shuttle from Times Square, 42nd Street to Grand Central, I did top to bottom on that. Didn't actually get to finish it. I turned around, the cop right next to me. I had to run away. I never saw that again. People told me they saw it running on the 3 line. I think they pulled it off the shuttle and put it on the 3 line. I forget who went over it. But they did it by accident. I think it was like Rick or Rhea or something like that from the 2s and 5s or something. I forget. What bands are you jamming to? You mean like music? I like a lot of like rock and roll. Carlos Santana, AC/DC, Guns N' Roses, shit like that. Was I friends with the Carroll brothers? Chip Love. Which Carroll brothers? From Isaacs? Are you still rocking pieces? And Desperate Move. Has Cap ever capped your burners with his throw-ups? No, I've just got done explaining. I've never, ever, ever done a burner on a subway. I never, ever done one. Lace did an RD burner with Ghost after Ghost refused to fight me. I personally, Robert Dyer, has never, ever done a burner on a subway. And I never had problems with Cap. Ever hit the Freedom Tunnels? Yes. I've hit the Freedom Tunnels. I hung out in the Freedom Tunnels a lot at one point in my life. Late 80s, early 90s. That's how I was in The Bone Collector, the movie The Bone Collector we're talking about. Yeah, I rode all through that. That's like right across town from me. It's like 10 minutes away on a bicycle. Have you? I actually, the last time I did that was during the pandemic with OJ and Skid, the Freedom Tunnel. OJ and Skid. We were just talking about Skid, actually, right? Yeah, OJ and Skid. Asked them; they're alive. Bon Scott, 100%. Bon Scott. I did a Bon Scott actually on the Black Movie Theater. It's like a black glass movie theater, and you would go down. And there's a big wall there. I did a Bon Scott. Nothing big. It was early on in my life, early 80s. But definitely Bon Scott. Chip Love, 99th Street. So, 99th Street. Favorite AC/DC record? That's tricky. I mean, Back in Black is the first one without Bon Scott. And I like that. I like Back in Black. Rock and roll ain't noise pollution. Yeah, Back in Black really came out hard. But I said I like Bon Scott the best, so I don't know. I don't know. I could tell you the songs, like TNT and stuff like that, with Bon Scott as lead singer, and yeah, a bunch of them. Yeah, if you think about it, Bon Scott, like, I don't know, when Brian Johnson came out, it was like a different voice. It was still raspy, but it was different. I don't know. It took me a while, but like when they came out with Back in Black with Brian Johnson, it fit his voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, his voice went good with that. And it's almost like they switched, like, the girl, like Bon Scott, girls got a rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. You don't get better than Bon Scott, man. That was the shit. Paint Louis in St. Louis, and it's illegal, was spanning miles. All right. G Rocker, Paint Louis is in St. Louis, and it's legal, was spanning. I don't know what the fuck you trying to say there, G Rocker. DMK, did I know Sane? Which Sane are you talking about? SANE from UA or from Acid Writers and shit like that with Smith? I know I've met Smith Sane several times, so that Sane I knew. I never met the UA Sane. There's a couple of Sanes. And you had SAIN from Top Crew. You had a few Sanes out there. But the one I'm thinking, your SANE, it would be either Sane UA or Sane with Smith Sane. And I do see that the Sane UA stuff sometimes gets confused, and people think Smith Sane, like all of a sudden Sane got real good at doing pieces. Yeah. I thought Highway to Hell was one of the album with Bon Scott. Yeah, Highway to Hell. It's no, the album also with the horns. They did, I think, 3 albums, right, with Bon Scott. Yeah, Saint Smith. Yeah, I met them. I mean, I never had problems with them. I used to bump into them all the time. They'd be painting. I'd come up to them. I'd talk to them. Hey, how's it going? This, all right, peace. I'd walk away. I'd go back on the inside, doing the insides, whatever. But yeah, I never had problems with them. People always thought we had some serious problems, but that shit didn't. It was really JA and them caused all that shit. All right, King. All right, High Voltage. Highway to Hell. Let There Be Rock and Dirty Deeds. Yeah, Dirty Deeds was good. I mean, I like the song Dirty Deeds were done dirt cheap. Arr! Dirty Deeds. That's the shit. You got a problem and you want to dead. But you ain't got the guts. Pick up the phone. I'm all home alone, right? Left the drive. We've got big balls. We've got the biggest balls. I didn't like that song. When I was young, I used to like that song. Like, he's talking about balls. But as I got older, I thought it was kind of stupid. But yeah. All right. Porridge, my favorite stuff from Australia. All right. Austria. Sorry, I said Australia. Austria. The Austrian oak. What was your last concert you attended? Guns N' Roses, Giant Stadium. That's the one when he was doing the Bismarcky thing. Oh, baby, you got what I need. Axl Rose on the piano. That was cool. I saw that with RD357, Noodles, a few people. No, I wrote. We met at this Barcode bar where it's I think it's in Jersey City. And like from there, we were going to have someone that was going to take us out to Giant Stadium. So you ever see a little white pens? It's like a whiteout pen, but it's got like a Bogart. They used to have these Vanguard pens back in the days. People used to do jean jackets with in the 70s, early 80s. And anyway, they came out with this new thing where it's white and it writes like that. And it's like a whiteout, but it's got like a ballpoint. I wrote on like a no standing sign in New Jersey, a green pole like this with the holes in it, and you put the no standing signs. I did that, and I put like a tag in the bathroom at a bar or something like that. Like 2-3 days later, oh, yo, RD, I thought you said you never bombed in New Jersey. You never. I'm like, yo, I just did that shit like last fucking week. You know what I mean? Like, because I always say I never write. No, I'm always, I never write New Jersey. Just that. Like I caught them 2 fucking tags. People take pictures. Oh, you're lying. I'm like, yo, the fucking thing is like done with a pencil. It's this big on a pole. It's like literally like something like a pencil, as thick as a pencil would write on a pole. So yeah, that's why you gotta. When you come on here, you gotta be precise with your shit. And, I took a lesson of that. Like, wow, people really dig. You still bomb with Skay. Remember seeing you on the 7 line. Big up you. Line at least he big upped you. I don't understand. All right, let me go with DMK. You still bomb with Skay. Remember seeing you on the 7 line. At least he big upped you. I don't understand. He ain't ever big up me. But no, I don't bomb with him. I haven't. I was exhumed in San Francisco recently. I saw exhumed. And I haven't even heard of exhumed. Why American Graffiti is so much better than European. I don't know. I don't know if it is better. No, I mean, when it comes to wild style pieces, I'm sorry. I think Europe's got that shit now, man. When it comes to like wild burners and actually like freelance, like portrait paintings and stuff like that, yeah, I think Europe burns the fuck out of New York. My personal opinion. And New York shit might look a little more edgy, but in all reality, a mural's a mural. If it's not illegal, I don't look at it that way. But when you talk about style, I'm assuming you're talking about legal burners, right? I mean, no one's doing burners illegally. I hear American Graffiti so much. JB's appetite. Appetite for Destruction, right? Guns N' Roses bought the tape at a flea market 1988. Yo, I remember when I had that shit. I was wearing the Walkmans out. They had the little Walkman. I think it was the yellow one. And I would wear that shit up at the Sixers. And I'd be listening to fucking Appetite for Destruction, Guns N' Roses, while hitting the insides of the Sixers. I had that shit head blast, and I knew what. And the light, it was like it's like the hottest shit ever. It's all the layups I ever been in my life. The Sixers always took the cake, man. Like I said, you go there 10 times, 7 times you get raided, man. It was like that. And I'd go up there with headphones on, blasting Guns N' Roses, man. The lights would go on, take them off, and start running. True story. Rocket Queen, all that shit. Yeah. All right. I'm talking about street stuff. Line rooftops. Definitely remember those RD Skays. Yeah, man, Skay put it in for a while. But I'll say, I don't know. He went on this thing, Graph Champs, and like totally lied about how we met each other. He's like, we met in a bar. Like RD wanted to beat me up. I'm like, no, I didn't. Like, I was going out with this girl, Erica. She knew this guy, Chris Riggs, that was POW's brother. And every Friday night, Saturday nights, we would drive into the city. I owned a house in Queens, and they'd come pick me up. I'd hop in the van with them, and we'd ride into Manhattan from Queens, and we'd go clubbing. The girl would go to this goth place and a couple other places. I remember that there were like clubs, like the Limelight, shit like that, Tunnel, and we'd go clubbing, and then we'd hop back in the van and go back to Queens. And one day, she said, "There's this new guy coming. He writes graffiti. This time, oh well, this time." Shook his hand. He gave me his number. Me and Skay wrote graffiti. That's how we met. And he went and saying and acting like, I don't know. But other people that he had talked about had gotten in touch with me and said he lied about them too. A few different people he lied about. You know, people that aren't even alive anymore to defend themselves. So I just thought that's weird. Like, I'm thinking to myself, why would he work me out to be a brute? Like, you got to realize I was pushing into 40. I don't even think that dude was old enough to drink at that point. Like, he was like 20, yeah, maybe 21. The girl I was dating was like 24. I was like 38. Yeah, I was like 38 years old or something. He was like 21, 22 or something like that, if even. I remember she's like older than him by a couple of years. Yeah, I mean, the dude was like 100 pounds, 110 pounds. He was like fucking barely 5 feet tall. I'm like 6'4", 215 pounds at that point in my life. Yeah, it was like 6'4", 215 pounds. Like, why would I want to, like, and especially in front of a girl? Like, who wants to come off like some violent brute in front of a girl? You know, you want to show the fact that you got more restraint and stuff like that. You know, when you're on a date with a girl, like, that bewildered me. I never understood that. And it kind of, you know, put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, why would someone come up with some crazy shit like that? Like, I don't know. I could never phantom a reason on this earth that I would do something like that. But then again, like I said, we got people coming on here asking me the stupidest shit. Like, you know, like I was saying about this Unit guy. I haven't seen him in a while. Just like trolls or something. But, you know, they go on like, how is his story any better than the truth? You know, like, yeah, we were in a bar and RD was in there. We exchanged glances. I knew there would be a problem. He wanted me to. This is actually what he said. Like, you could go on Graph Champ, Skay. He asked me to go outside. Like, you want to step outside? Anyone that knows me, that ain't what I'm gonna do, man. I don't fuck around like that. I don't attack people. If I'm in a bar and I'm about to get attacked, the number one the number one move I do is normally if I'm on a wooden chair, I put the wooden chair, I lean back on two legs. I grab it by the back leg, swing it up and bash in the fucking head with it. If that don't work, I'll rip the leg off it. Chase you around like fucking Van Helsing. I'll stab you with the fucking leg of it. I'm not going to sit there, excuse me, let's step outside. I don't do that shit, man. Fuck that, man. Hell, I don't give people the opportunity like that. I'll fucking kick you in the balls while I shake your fucking hand, man. Yo, anyone who knows me will be like, oh, come on, Rob, that's the craziest shit. Like, I got chivalry or pride or something like that. Yo, come on, people. Who knows me out there? Do I do shit like that? Or am I like the honorable one? Like, fuck out of here. I'll snuff your ass. Come on, everyone knows this shit, yo. Everyone knows this shit, man. Come on. Like, I'm going to sit there like, you wronged me. I'm taking great insult to that. This means war. Would you step outside? Like, get the fuck out of here. I ain't never tell no one I'm about to punch him in the face a day of my life. I just did it. Straight up. But real, that is the crazy. That's what bothers me the most, you know? Like, you know, I don't know how else to put it, man. I'm 6'3", so damn, you are tall also. Yeah, I'm almost 6'. I'm like over 6'4", like 6'4" and 1/4 of an inch. My son is like my height too, but he's thicker. He's got like bigger arms and shit, you know, thicker legs and stuff. So I'm still laughing at that shit. Yo, I remember. Oh man, I can't tonight, man. Yo, I'll talk to you people, man. You brought some good things in my mind, man. It's some good fights and shit. I'm gonna do episodes on it and shit. But yo, you guys should check out my Patreon, man. Take care of yourselves. I got some good stories. See, that's why I go live. Like I was saying before, like it sparks things in my mind. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I remember this, I remember that. You know, you guys go in places and you know, you ask me questions. Some of them might be stupid. You might even be trolling me. But from that, we'll plan. You know, I'll remember something else from back. Like I got like 43 years of fucking graffiti in my brain. It's just I need to know what you guys want to hear. So when I sit here and you tell me stuff like this and stuff like that, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I remember this, I remember that. And, you know, just mentioning people even. I'm like, oh shit, that's right. I remember I used to hang out with that guy. And that's why I do this live, man. And it's good. And last week we had a good live. I don't know. I started out good, but my hand was all cut, and it started going down the path of what people are talking about, like rap music and white people performing in rap music. And we were getting into the whole culture vulture thing and this and that, and I was like, I don't want to touch that, man. So I didn't even bother posting. I don't really post all my lives, and it was just, yeah, it was weird. So I figured I play it back, and I looked at it and I'm like, someone might, look at this like in a foul light or something, but I'm just speaking my mind and being truthful. But I don't think I don't like the fact of here. I'm going to go down the hole now again, right? And I'm not going to be able to post this one, but I don't know how that happens, but I don't like rap music. I don't listen to rap music, and the question was something about white people that perform rap music, and I think it's cheesy. I think it's like that would be considered culture vulture. It's been the original question had come up because it was talked about like I was called a culture vulture, like with graffiti, that black people should only write graffiti or something, and that's how the whole conversation started. But I was breaking it down that I grew up in a liberal city. And you're liberal by actually, I was outside in front of my building just talking about this the other day. Redhead Joey, Tommy, and a couple of us were out there. Richard Ferrari from up in Isaacs, they call him 8 Ball. And we're out there and like, we're all like liberals by location, like location. Like, and it's just like me, and like robbing and stealing. And it's all about me and fuck everything else and fuck everyone else. And, it's just the way we were raised, and we all were kind of raised just writing graffiti and robbing and stealing and shit. And, now it's like they say, most people that think like a Republican are older people because they kind of learn that it's not all about you all the time. And somewhere along that line, I was trying to explain that. And I don't know, it was coming out kind of weird. Take care of yourselves, people. I had a good time tonight. All right. Peace.